Okay, so E3 is come and gone, and I wanted to come in today and talk about everything that I thought about the shows. I didn't watch every single one of them. I watched Square Enix's, Capcom's, and Nintendo's. I don't really have much to say on the first two. Nintendo was pretty much the only conference out of the entire E3 that actually had a legitimate showcase this year. All the other showcases were just, pretty much awful. I've heard Xbox's was pretty good, but I'm not really a big Xbox fan. I skimmed over it, and it's just, honestly, I haven't even owned an Xbox since, like, Xbox 360, and I maybe had it for a year until I traded it in for a PS3. Just, Xbox games just really aren't for me. They don't have any IPs that I'm really interested in. So, like, Xbox did have some cool stuff. They had some stuff that Bethesda had shown off, and then, of course, Halo, and then the mini fridge, but other than that, like, it's just not for me. But today I will be talking about Square Enix's, Capcom's, and Nintendo's. So let's just go ahead and get started. So first off, Square Enix. This presentation was awful, like just awful. So starting off, the first 20 to 25 minutes out of this 45-minute presentation, mind you, was all about this one game called Guardians of the Galaxies. Yeah, it looks cool, but I don't think it deserved all that screen time. Maybe it's just because they didn't have anything else to show, but I just did not care about this game. I can appreciate it for what it is. I know Guardians of the Galaxies has a huge cult following. People love that series. I'm sure it's gonna be, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be happy with it, but it's just not something for me, man. Like, the longer it was on screen, the more I just started hating it. I just do not care about this game. I mean, the graphics looked cool. It looks like you have meaningful choices between you and the characters of the game. I think you play as someone named Star-Lord, if I remember the name right. I don't know any characters from this universe at all, so if I butcher some names, sorry. I will say the raccoon, I think his name is Rocket. He looked fucking great. He actually looked too good. He kind of stood out for the rest of the game. Like, the whole game looked like it was still kind of like PS4 era, but Rocket looked specifically PS5. I don't know if anyone else thought that, but that's just my thoughts, so I thought it was weird. But other than that, I mean, it literally looked and played like Avengers almost. I know, like, it's not going to be necessarily like a team-based game. I think the way the dynamic is that you play as Star-Lord throughout the entire game, but then you build up your relationship with your teammates, and I guess, like, during the game you have points where you can make decisions, and you can go with whichever teammate that you want in your group, and I guess that affects your relationships with them and might end up having different storylines or consequences down the campaign path. So I think that's pretty cool, but other than that, that's all I really have to say on it. I really wish they didn't spend so much time on it, but that is not the worst part. So, man, it's even hard for me to fucking talk about this. The screen goes to white, and then all of a sudden, we see one of the heroes from the first Final Fantasy game. You start hearing the theme of the Warriors of Light playing in the background, and then across the screen, you see Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's like, oh my god, we're finally gonna get it on Switch? I got so excited, I was getting so hyped, and the music's all rising, and then I start seeing all these pictures in the background, and then Pixel Remasters pops up on the screen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're remaking all the games. And then this. Fuck! Why not put this shit on Switch? Like, why? Steam, okay, at least it's on Steam, right? But mobile, I mean, we already have all the games on mobile. Why do we need to have them again on mobile? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Switch would be the perfect fucking console, the perfect place for this shit. But nope, they just, mobile, okay, cool. And then they had Nier Reincarnation, mobile game. And then something about Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, whatever the hell it's called. Mobile game. This is E3. What are you doing showing off mobile games at your E3 press conference? Jesus, man. And then following up on that, we had Babylon's Fall, and I am not entirely sold on this game either. Honestly, this game looked fucking rough. The textures didn't look good. I really did not care for the character design at all, and what really breaks my heart is this is actually by Platinum Games, and I've been super into all of their games lately. And what's even worse is that this is actually, looks from the looks of it, I don't know for sure, but I think it's a live service game. I don't know if this is Square's doing, because I know that they wanted to make Marvel's Adventures a live service game. I don't, why are we trying to get back into the live service market? It's been tested over and over again. Live service games just do not work. And then finally they ended their press conference with Stranger's Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins, and this did not look very good either, unfortunately. The world is very muted, and I typically don't mind when worlds go for like that dark muted aesthetic, but this one just didn't look very polished. And then of course, chaos.
I'm here to kill chaos. Looks like chaos has been waiting for us. I want to kill chaos.
You sure chaos is here?
This is the shrine of chaos. Chaos.
And who are you?
We're here to kill chaos.
The prophecy's very own Warriors of Light. It's Garland!
No. I become chaos.
Take a shot every time you hear the word chaos in this trailer. Actually, no, don't. It's like they say it like 10 times. It's in a 2-minute trailer. It's pretty over the top. But yeah, like this game didn't really particularly look good either. And actually, they had a demo released the same day, and the demo was actually released in a corrupted state, and no one could even play it. And there have been people that have finally played the demo a day later after it's been out and it's been fixed, and it's not really getting good reviews either. People are saying it feels very, very generic, doesn't really feel like a next-gen game. And for some reason, the main character looked like he walked into a Walmart store and went to the value section in the clothing area and just found whatever he could to put it on. He doesn't even match the other two people that actually look like they're in some form of armor, where this dude's just in like skinny jeans and like a t-shirt. Cool. I don't know, man. This entire presentation just was not good. Half of it was mobile, the other half was just a game that I really don't care about, and I want to move on from this. This left a very bad taste in my mouth. Let's go ahead and move on to Capcom next. Definitely going to be the shortest part of this video because they didn't announce anything new at all. They announced a developer updates for Resident Evil 8 saying that they are starting development on DLC, which is alright, cool, I guess, but it was just a black screen with text saying, "We started working on it." Cool. And then they had an update on Monster Hunter Stories 2 and Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is coming out at the beginning of July, I believe, and they have a playable demo for it that's going to be releasing the end of this month. I will definitely be picking up that demo and probably reviewing it. I'm still kind of on the fence on whether or not I actually want to buy the game. I have the first one on 3DS, and I got about like halfway through it, but honestly, it kind of bored me because it was an easier game, I guess. I don't know, I probably put like 10-15 hours into it before I just decided, I'm good. I was done with it. Not that there's anything against it, it just wasn't really for me. It was kind of Pokemon, but Monster Hunter, really. And so yeah, I will be trying the demo though, because the game does look really pretty. I will give it that. I think it's coming out on Switch and PlayStation. I'll probably just download the demo on Switch and review it then. And then we got an update for Monster Hunter Rise, and they are going to be collaborating with themselves, I guess, to celebrate the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2. There's going to be skins that both the games are going to be swapping between each other, or between games, so that's pretty cool. I'm not really excited for that, unfortunately. I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but I mean, they release free updates every month, so I'm pretty sure the next one will be a lot better. I'm not really too worried about that. I may end up reviewing Monster Hunter Rise for my channel eventually. It's a pretty long game. Me and my wife have been playing through it for the last couple weeks, and we've been loving every second of it. I think it's just a phenomenal game, and probably like one of the best games on Switch currently, at least the best looking. But yeah, it's great. And then we had the Ace Attorney Chronicles. I guess it's like a double pack. It's a prequel sequel that was originally only released in Japan, but it's being localized over here in the West, so that seems pretty cool. I have the trilogy on Switch. I have beat the first one. I got about halfway through the second one, and I haven't even touched the third one yet, but this will motivate me to actually play through them so then I can play this. I do like that series a lot. I think it's one of the best visual novels like in the genre, period. It's pretty great, and if you have never tried it yourself, I highly recommend you check it out. I think you can get like the trilogy for 20 bucks right now on the eShop because Nintendo's having a big sale after their E3 press conference. And then they ended on what did they end on? Shit. I had to look it up because I completely forgot. They ended on esports for Street Fighter V, I think, and this was just another thing completely out of place. I don't really think esports should be at E3 events. E3 events are here to promote new content, new games. It's just nothing against esports, it's just wrong place at the wrong time. But then, anyways, we finally move on to Nintendo. For me, this was by far the best showcase out of the entire E3 weekend. I loved everything that they had on offer here to show us today. And they hit the ground running. First up, we get a new character for Smash Brothers called Kazuya from the Tekken series. Seems pretty cool. I've never personally played Tekken before. I'm not super big into those like 2D style fighter games, like the traditional fighter games, but I love Smash Brothers. I still have a couple friends. We have a meetup like once every couple weeks to have some beers and play Smash Brothers over a weekend or something. Like, I still play this game constantly, and it's been out for, I don't know, 3-4 years now. And we got the next Mario Party coming out at the end of September. I'm super excited for this. My wife is absolutely obsessed with Mario Party. She likes to play it anytime we get. We don't really play the one that's currently out as much anymore because it kind of grown stale. Playing on the same like 3 or 4 boards, and there's not really any kind of like intricacy to them. They're really kind of generic. I mean, it's still like a return to form. It is a good Mario Party game, but it is one that kind of outwore its welcome pretty quick with me. But I'm really excited for this one because this collection is going to be 5 new maps, and it's going to be, well, not 5 new maps, sorry, it's going to be 5 maps from the Nintendo 64, like 5 of the best maps or the most favorites, and then it's going to have I think 100 mini games, like 100 of the favorite mini games from the series. So overall, it just looks really, really cool, and I'm really excited for it. And it also has online connectivity, which is what Mario Party's been needing forever. A couple months ago, for the one that's out now, they actually did put an online update, and that was, I'm 100%, that was to test the waters for online play, to get some information and feedback to see how they can implement it into this. And I'm excited to see that like my wife and I can team up and we can play against people online. That's going to give this game just hours and hours and hours of longevity, and I am 100% in for it. It's coming out September 29th, I believe, and that is going to definitely be a day one pickup for me. Can't wait. And then we had my absolute favorite announcement of the entire weekend, and that is Metroid 5, or Metroid Dread. And it comes out October 8th, and I absolutely cannot wait for this game. It has been 19 years since we got the last game in the mainline series, Metroid Fusion. It came out in like 2001, 2002. It's been forever, and this got me so excited. They did release a small update for Metroid Prime 4. For those of you that don't know, Metroid Prime 4 has been in development for the last 4 years, but unfortunately, they came out and said that the team wasn't really happy in the direction that it was going, and so they actually completely scrapped the project 2 years ago and started completely over again, with Retro Studios back at the helm, which is the company that made the original trilogy. So sad that we didn't get any news on that, but I am really, really excited for Metroid Dread. Comes out October 8th, literally the day after my birthday, and I cannot wait. Unfortunately, they did release a special edition, and within minutes, the scalpers had already gotten a hold of it. It was originally going for $89.99, and now it's all over eBay for $200, and shit sucks. 2 more really cool games that are coming back is actually WarioWare, Get It Together. That's coming out for Switch in a couple months, actually. I'm really excited for that. I was obsessed with WarioWare Twisted as a kid. I always loved all the WarioWare games. Twisted, Touched, And then I think Smooth Moves on the Wii. I own them all. I played them all with my family growing up. I have a brother and sister. The three of us would always play these games together for like years. And these are just such great little games. WarioWare is essentially like just like a compilation of like micro games, and it's just kind of an endurance game where you just keep playing micro games over and over again. And the more you complete, the faster the game gets. And it's just pretty much to see who can outlast who. It's just good dumb fun. You have some of like the dumbest things that you'll see on screen, and it's just completely ridiculous and over the top, but it's great and that's fun, and that's the appeal for it. So I'm really excited for that. I can't wait. And then finally, their last announcement before their big segment was remakes of Advance Wars 1 and 2 for Nintendo Switch, and I think that looks really fucking cool. I love the art style of it. I think that it's totally true to form. This is what it would look like in 3D, and I think they just nailed it. I played the first one on Game Boy Advance growing up constantly, and it's probably one of my absolute favorite tactics games besides Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. But it's just overall it's a lot of good fun, and it really makes me happy to see that Nintendo's bringing it back and making a lot of people happy, because a lot of people like Advance Wars. So this was a great move. That comes out on December 3rd. I'm gonna be picking that up as well. It's just Nintendo is just emptying my wallet this year. It's crazy. There's like a big game coming out almost every month, and it's gonna be a good year. And then finally, they say this is gonna be the last segment of their show. Pans to black, and then we see Hyrule Warriors. And the entire time I was thinking, do not end on Hyrule Warriors. Do not end on Hyrule Warriors, please. I was kind of freaking out. I was just wanting something for Breath of the Wild. It's a DLC expansion that's coming out for Hyrule Warriors. I think that's really cool. Personally, I'm not interested in it. I 100% completed the original base game, and I kind of got my fill for it. I'm kind of all Hyrule Warriored out. Not to say that it's a bad game or anything. It's just I've had enough of it. I wanted something more. And then finally, Eiji Aonuma pops up on screen, and he pulls something out of his little pocket, and it's a Game & Watch for Zelda. For Zelda's 35th anniversary, they are doing a Zelda Game & Watch, and it features the original Legend of Zelda, and then Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, along with like a little fourth little mini Zelda-themed Game & Watch minigame. Overall, I think that's really cool. I love that. I will definitely be picking it up. Unfortunately, they said that they didn't have any other plans or campaigns for Zelda's anniversary, so I guess that's the only thing that we're getting, which kinda sucks. Maybe people on the internet were complaining so much, and Nintendo was just like, you know what? Here's a Game & Watch. That's the anniversary. Shut up. Who knows? I mean, I don't understand why they don't want to go a little bit more out for Zelda, but it is what it is. At least we're getting something. I'm happy with it. I didn't pick up the Mario one, but I definitely will be picking up that one to add to my game collection. And then finally, they say, here's some more news on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And then we get this. Holy shit. even though this was just a minute long, there's so much in this trailer to unpack, and all over the internet there's already people analyzing the hell out of this video, going frame by frame and just dissecting it, which I'm actually going to be doing myself. Probably right after this video, I'm going to immediately start on my own personal analysis, because there's a lot that I'm noticing going on, and I like to think I know my Zelda shit, thank you. But anyways, yeah, it's probably going to be a video in itself, but please look forward to that, because there's a lot going on that I think that I have figured out that not a lot of people are talking about, so stay tuned for that. But then, yeah, other than that, that's the entire Nintendo's presentation. By far the best one out of the entire weekend. They've started strong and they ended strong. There's pretty much a game that's coming out every month now, and I'm really excited about that, because until Monster Hunter Rise, my Switch was actually kind of just collecting dust. I had no reason to play it. There was a bit of a drought for the system over the last year. I mean, obviously because of the pandemic and all that, but I'm really happy to have an excuse to be picking up my Switch almost every day again. It's just all these games that are coming out are just great, and I just can't wait. So, yeah, I think that's it. That's gonna do it for this video. Thank you if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate your time, and I guess until next time, see ya.